Gender, religion, and caste we are looking. In the earlier session, we have studied about the religion and communalism. Now we will see the caste and politics. Caste and politics. We have seen two instances of the expression of social divisions in the arena of politics, one largely positive and other largely negative. Two examples already we have seen. That is the gender division in the society and religion and communalism. These two examples we have seen, but one was completely positive and one was completely negative. When gender division it is needing to look, it is needing to take care. That is what is called positive. But about religion, if the religion is taking dominance, it is moving in the communalism, it is harming to the country. Many times the country is divided on a small part, in a small part. The experience India is having due to the religion, the India is divided in a three parts. We knew it one. So how the religion dominating makes division of one country, we have seen. But now this is the last. The third example, third region, third area in the politics, how it worked, we will see in this part. Caste inequalities. Unlike gender and religion, caste division is a special to India. The gender and religion division is a different than the caste division in India, because in almost societies the caste is having there. In every religion, the caste division we looks, we get, we experience. In most societies, occupations are passed on from one generation to another. We knew the structure of our society. The society is formed on the basis of occupation. The occupations are made the caste society because it's are passed from one generation to another generation. The division of caste, the division of society is made on the basis of occupations because the particular occupation is done by the next successor of that particular family. That is why the caste divisions took place in our society from ancient time. We knew it one. We studied it from 6th standard. You are studying. The caste system was based on the exclusion of and discrimination against the outcast groups. Two things are involved in this point. The exclusion of some, exclusion keeping away. Some groups are kept away from a caste, from a group. And another is discrimination against the outcast group. Discriminating with the other people, outcast people. These are the two important things in the caste inequalities. Caste system was based on exclusion. One hand, exclusion is here, and other hand, outcast discrimination is here. These two things are involved in this point. Read this lesson and this point carefully, then you will understand. There is no any difficulty to understand this point. But just you have to study, you have to read it carefully. So the exclusion and the caste discrimination, these two are the main bases in the caste inequalities. Mobility and old notion of caste hierarchy are breaking down. The earlier notion of caste hierarchy is nowadays not remain. It is a breaking down. How it is breaking down, we will see. We are studying from the class 8. Many socialists worked in the field to remove the inequality from the Indian society. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Jyotirao Phule, Ramaswamy, Naicker. These are some examples we have seen from the class Six, who worked to remove the caste inequalities from the society. This is one hand. Other hand, the Constitution of India prohibited any caste-based discrimination and laid the foundation of policies for reversing the injustices of the caste system. The Constitution also given support to remove the caste inequalities. The ways are here. The prohibition of the caste-based discrimination. No caste, no person which belongs from any caste will be not discriminate. No discrimination on base of a caste, religion, gender. This we have seen. So this is that part. And laid the foundation of policies for reversing the injustices of caste system. Because due to the caste system, many injustices took place with these lower caste people. So with securing reservations for these people, it was the way to reversing the injustices which took place with these backward classes. These are the two ways are here which helped to the remove the caste inequalities in the India. The caste inequalities or the hierarchy is not remaining the same. The notion is changing. Why it is changing? Just giving the support by the constitution is not enough. The education and the economical status which changed in of these backward classes. These two things are important which broke down the caste hierarchy in the India. In urban region, the caste hierarchy is not seen deeply. People don't care who is the next person to them, whether he is belongs from lower caste or the upper caste. They don't care. So that is why the caste hierarchy is a breaking down. But it means not the completely caste hierarchy is removed or went away. Caste hierarchy is remaining in India now also. Yet the caste has not disappeared from contemporary India. Still, the caste hierarchy is, we can look. Maybe the picture is changed. Before 100 years, in India, the picture was very different. The caste hierarchy or caste discrimination was high. But in these 100 years, this broke down with different cause of different reasons. But then also it is not completely disappeared from the contemporary India. Some of the older aspects of caste have persisted, remain, continue. Some aspects of the class hierarchy now also are followed. Even now most people marry within their own caste or tribes. When marriages are taking place, that time people looks these both members, those who are going to get married, they are belonging of the same caste or not. Outcast marriages are not allowed now also. In this modern India also, the outcast marriages are not allowed. This is the aspect, older aspect, which is followed or persisted in the contemporary India also. That is not enough. Again, untouchability has not ended completely. Untouchability is also remain continue despite constitution prohibition. Effects of centuries of advantages and disadvantages continue to be felt today. Despite of the constitutional remedy, the effects of the centuries, advantages and disadvantages continue to be remain now also. Or affected. Effects of centuries of advantages and disadvantages continue to be felt today. This means in the earlier period, some people were enjoying privileges. The people who were enjoying the privileges remain on the upper position. Their positions now is at the upper level because they were having educational access. These people were economically status also good, so they advantaged, and some people disadvantaged because they were not having any educational access, no any social equality, and they discriminated always. Their economical status remain backward, so that disadvantage today also remain. So these are the points we have studied here, and we need to change this picture, this scenario in the coming time. That is why we are studying the caste and the politics. Caste in politics. Now we'll move toward the next part, caste in a politics. When parties choose candidates in elections, they keep in mind the caste composition of the electorate constituency. Of a particular constituency, which caste is having more, what is the caste composition of that constituency, it taken care by a party when they are choosing the candidate for a particular constituency. So look here, when parties choose candidates in elections, they keep in mind the caste composition of the electorate and nominate candidates from different castes so as to muster necessary support for winning election. That candidate, if the candidate belongs from a particular caste and that caste domination is in that particular constituency, it means that candidate will get more support, collective support, muster support, collective support he will get to win the election. That is why parties taking care while choosing the candidate for a particular constituency. This is the caste in politics. The next is when governments are formed, political parties usually take care about the representatives of different castes and tribes to find a place in it. This is also taken care. It is a way to make happy a particular group. If a representative belongs from a particular group, means that particular group will get happy with this government. That is why when the government, it is not only for the choosing the candidate, but for forming government also, this is taken care. When governments are formed, political parties usually take care about the representatives of different castes and tribes to find a place in it. Means that group will remain happy, and in the next election they will not get suffer. The particular party will remain in the government proper way, or can be claimed we are secular. During elections, political parties and candidates make appeal to caste sentiment to muster support. When elections are going on, we found it, we observed already this one. During elections, political parties and candidates make appeal to caste sentiment. These people are making appeal, asking votes to the people by raising the caste sentiment, caste emotions to get more support. This is the caste in the politics. How the caste is used in the politics when they want to elect, when they want to form a government. Then next point we'll see universal adult franchise and the principle of one person, one vote. Since last year we are studying the universal adult franchise. Universal adult franchise means every citizen of a country having right to vote. Just he or she is not having right to vote, but the value of every person's vote is the same. So this again made the mobilization of the politics in the caste, because now politicians understand the value of every vote is the same. So we need strong support from the all caste people. That is why these people are giving focus on the caste. Read this point again. Universal adult franchise and the principle of one person, one vote compel political leaders to gear up for the task of mobilizing and securing political support. It also brought new consciousness among the low caste people. So that is why the low caste people also become conscious because they understand now we are having place in the politics. Our vote matters in the politics. So these people also take care or become conscious about to complete their interest and the needs. I hope you people are understanding well. If you get any problem, if you are having any difficulty, note down in a notebook. Afterward, you can message or we can discuss. The Indian constitution is, however, not caste based. We have looked here how the caste make effects in the politics, but it is practically, generally outside of the parliament happening. In the constitution, there is no any support for any caste to dominate to work in this way. The Indian constitution is a no caste based, it is a secular constitution. No parliamentary constituency in the country has a clear majority of one single caste. In all constituencies, there is no any constituency which is having only of a particular caste constituency. All caste people are having in that particular constituency, but some castes are dominating, some are less. That make matter. Next phase, why the constitution is not based on a caste, we will see. No party win the vote of all the voters to caste or community. It is not possible for any party to get a particular caste vote and win the election. One caste vote are not enough to get to elect in the election. The point we will clear here this, and immediately I will launch the another session to complete the remaining point because the time went for the joining. Many political parties may put up candidate from the same caste. It's happening because a reserved constituency, if a constituency is reserved for a particular caste, that time it is compulsory to all the parties to give the candidate belongs which is from the particular caste. That time votes are dividing. Many political parties may put up candidates from the same caste if that caste is believed to dominate the electorate in a particular constituency. This happens and the votes are dividing. So constitution not supporting to a caste or to a particular candidate to get elected in a particular region. The ruling party and sitting MPs or the MLAs frequently lose elections in our country. While learning about democracy, we have studied. Mostly it happens, the ruling party, which are ruling this time, next time they have to sit in a opposition. So this is, we can say, we can claim our constitution is not on the base of the caste. Now we will see the politics in a caste. How the politics worked in the caste, how the people belong from the particular caste are doing politics with their people only. Very last point it remains, but each group tries to become bigger by incorporating within it neighboring caste or subcaste which were earlier excluded from it. In the particular caste also there were groups. These particular groups were also saying this is the upper, that is the lower in the earlier period. But now people understand the grouping is important in the politics. That is why these people makes group to become dominant in the politics. Politics used in the caste. Various caste groups are required to enter into dialogues and negotiations. Not only the group belongs from the same group coming together, the different caste groups also required to come together. That is why these people are making negotiations to come together. Negotiations, speaking, solving the problem and taking new result. New kinds of caste groups have come up in the political arena like backward and forward. The earlier names not remain now. Now the new groups are emerged due to the changed politics, the backward classes and the forward classes. So in this way, you have studied the complete lesson